In a small town, there was an old, abandoned house at the edge of a dense forest. The townsfolk often told tales about the house, calling it the Whispering House. People claimed they could hear faint whispers coming from behind its doors on quiet nights. No one dared to go near it, except for a young journalist named Emma, who was always in search of a good mystery. Determined to uncover the truth, Emma packed her camera, notebook, and flashlight one evening and ventured to the house. As she approached the dilapidated building, the air seemed to grow colder, and an eerie silence enveloped the surroundings. But Emma wasn't easily scared. The door to the house creaked as she pushed it open. Dust swirled in the dim light from her flashlight, illuminating the empty, decaying rooms. She began exploring, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary, just an old house, left to rot. That was until she reached the narrow hallway at the back of the house. At the end of the hallway was a single door, unlike the others. It was slightly ajar, and faint whispers seemed to seep from the small gap. Emma felt her heartbeat quicken, but she pressed on, curiosity overriding her fear. As she slowly opened the door, the whispers grew louder but remained unintelligible. Inside was a small, windowless room. In the middle of the floor sat an antique wooden chair with a tattered book on it. Emma cautiously approached and picked up the book. Its pages were yellowed with age, but what caught her attention were the names scrawled in the margins, hundreds of names, including some she recognized from the town's missing person reports. Suddenly, the door behind her slammed shut, and the whispers stopped. The room was plunged into silence. Emma tried the door, but it wouldn't budge. Panic started to rise as she pounded on the door, but no one was around to hear. Then, she noticed something in the book. On the last page, a blank space remained under the list of names, but as she watched, her own name began to appear, as if written by an invisible hand. Terrified, Emma frantically searched for a way out. Her flashlight flickered and went out. In the darkness, the whispers began again, louder this time. They weren't just whispers anymore, they were voices, calling her name, coming closer and closer. In a desperate attempt, Emma tore the book from the chair and hurled it across the room. Instantly, the whispers stopped. The door creaked open on its own, and the cold air returned. Emma bolted from the house, never looking back. The next morning, shaken but alive, she returned to town and tried to tell her story. But when she mentioned the house, no one seemed to know what she was talking about. There was no record of it, and when she went back to look for it, the house was gone, as if it had never been there. The only proof Emma had was a single, torn page from the book with her name written at the bottom, forever serving as a reminder that some mysteries should never be uncovered.